I'm sorry, Mr. Ramirez, could you start recording the session? Oh, it's already being recorded. Yes.
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Miss.
sorry about that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for your comment. Thank you very much. And Carla says, I will bring a rope. And Angela, I will bring a knife. A knife, it's very useful. But if you don't have food, what can you do with a knife? You can cut the trees. Let's see. Angela, did you mention what object would you bring to a deserted island?
Yes, I will bring a knife.
A knife. You said the knife. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about Carolina in Nostrosa?
Maybe I would bring a book to not getting bored in the island.
In the island. And you'll wait for somebody to rescue you?
Yes.
Okay. Catalina Salcedo, did you say what object would you bring to a deserted island?
Yes, I was I was thinking. I think that my brother, because he will know how to survive in that situation.
Okay, so you'll bring your brother because he knows how to survive on a deserted island. That's a good one.
And
Thank you very
or
much.
a knife.
And or a knife.
Yes.
What about fire? Nobody thought about fire. Fire is very useful. A fire starter or something. Guillermo, what would you bring to a deserted island?
Maybe strings to tie things and to build because I wouldn't be able to get nails or something like that, so the strings are good anyways.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. And Vanessa, what's your object for the deserted island?
I think that it would be a book or a board game.
A board game. And
Yes.
you'll just wait there.
Yes.
Okay, now, okay, since you have all mentioned the object that you'll bring to a deserted island, you said a book, a knife, a water filter, a cell phone, a mirror, book. Somebody said, my brother, strings, ropes, board games. Think about who would you go with? I mean, your object plus somebody else's object that could be very useful objects in the on the deserted island. Who would you go with? With the person that is bringing a book, with the person that's bringing a knife, or with the person that is bringing a mirror to the deserted island? Your object plus somebody else's object. Mr. Ramirez, what about you? You said you'll bring a boat. And if you have to choose for somebody else to bring something, who would you go with?
I guess I would definitely go with someone who knows, who has surviving skills. Because you probably, in the meantime, need to hunt, need to build up a camp, fire. I know how to do some things, but I would be kind of difficult for me to maybe kill an animal with Angela's knife. So I would take someone who's a specialist or knows how to survive in the wild.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Catalina, who would you go with? With the person that is bringing a knife or a cell phone, or the person that's bringing a boat?
Maybe mm, the person with the boat or the water filter.
Okay, cool. Josefina wrote something in the chat box. She says, I will bring someone that can sing or knows how to do it. That's a very good one. That's a very good answer. You know, until you bring.
Thank you.
Sorry?
I totally agree. I mean, I my main concern is not about dying. It's about getting bored. So I'm a very talkative person, and I like music very much. So if I'm not listening to music, I mean, if I could bring a speaker, but the battery, so I would bring someone that knows how to do it, and they don't have a battery, so we could sing. That's fun.
Yes, that's a good answer. Thank you, Josefina. And Claudia says, I will go with Francisca so we can sing Adele songs until we die. And somebody else says, I'm in. Okay, guys. So your main concern is not to get bored, right? On the deserted island. Okay, thank you very much for your answers. Very interesting. Let's continue now with the topic. So, here, what you can see are 8 different statements, and I'll say each one of them, but this is called, can you correct me? Am I using the right intonation? Or how can each sentence or phrase sound better? So pay attention, and then it's your turn to tell me. How would you read the following phrases and sentences? So I'll start from number 1 to 8, and then it's your turn to continue. So let's see. If I say, I'll go to your birthday, it's a girl, see you tomorrow, it is late, I mean too late, what's the matter? Very nice. I didn't ask her to. I have no idea. I'll go one more time from 1 to 8. I'll go to your birthday. It's a girl. See you tomorrow. It's late. I mean too late. What's the matter? Very nice. I didn't ask her to. I have no idea. Am I using the right intonation for each one of the sentences? What do you think?
No. And actually, I will ask you if you are ill or something. Why you are talking in that way?
Okay, so I'm not using the right intonation. In fact, I'm not using intonation at all, right? Look at sentence number 1. It has an exclamation mark at the end, and I just said, I'll go to your birthday. Can you identify the meaning I wish to convey? When I read all of the sentences from number 1 to 8, I'll go to your birthday, it's a girl, see you tomorrow, it is late, I mean too late, what's the matter, very nice, I didn't ask her to, I have no idea. No, right? You cannot identify emotions or meaning on what I'm saying. So I would like one of you to read from number 1 to 8, applying his or her own intonation. Okay, how would you read all of these sentences? Any volunteer? Volunteers. Okay, we have one volunteer. Josefina.
Yes. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
go. Yes, perfectly.
Yeah. Okay. 1. I'll go to your birthday. 2. It's a girl. 3. See you tomorrow. 4. It is late. I mean too late. 5. What's the matter? 6. Very nice. 7. I didn't ask her to. 8. I have no idea.
Oh, that was perfect. Thank you, Josefina. Thank you very much.
You're
Somebody
welcome.
else who would like to participate? How would you read the following phrases and sentences? my dear students? Let me ask somebody. Claudio Avila, are you there?
Yes, there I am.
Okay, so applying your own intonation. How would you read the following sentences?
All of them?
Yes, all of them. From number
Do
one,
you want me to read all of them? Okay.
all of them.
I'll
Go.
go to your birthday. It's a girl. See you tomorrow. It is late. I mean, too late. It is late, sorry. What's the matter? Very nice. I think that's her too. I have no idea.
Super. Thank you very much, Claudio. Congratulations. Nice intonation. What about Darwin? I would like you to participate in this part. Would you like to?
Sorry, could you repeat?
I would like you to participate in this part.
Ah,
Can you
okay.
read the following phrases and sentences applying your own intonation?
All phrases, right?
From number 1 to 8. Go ahead.
Okay. I'll go to your party. No, sorry. Oh, sorry. Little slowly. Okay. I'll go to your birthday. It's a girl. See you tomorrow. It is late. I mean, too late. What's the matter? Very nice. I didn't ask her to. I have no idea.
Perfect, Darwin. Thank you very much. That was great. Super. Let's ask somebody else to participate. Do we have any other volunteer? Girls, boys? Somebody in the class who would like to read all of them from number 1 to 8? Let me ask Maria Francisco. Sorry, Maria Francisca. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Okay. I'll go to your birthday. It's a girl. See you tomorrow. It is late. I mean, too late. What's the matter? Very nice. I didn't ask her to. I have no idea.
Perfect, Maria Francisca. Thank you. And finally, Vanessa Nunez. Vanessa, you there? Would you like to participate?
Yes,
Okay, so go ahead.
I'll go to your birthday. It's a girl. See you tomorrow. It is late. I mean, too late. What's the matter? Very nice. I didn't ask her to, and I have no idea.
Super. Thank you very much. So, as you can see, at the very beginning, I was not conveying any meaning when I read all of these statements. I was just communicating a set of words, but not emotions and not a meaning, right? Did you notice the difference from when I read all of the sentences and when you read all of them?
Yes.
Yes, okay, so that's the matter of intonation. And now let's see, what's intonation? So, speaking and understanding English does not just come from using correct grammar and vocabulary. Native English speakers convey meaning in their sentences with pitch, the ups and downs, and the musical notes of their sentences. Now, the two following sentences contain the same words, but is there a difference in meaning? Let's listen. I'll play each recording twice, so pay attention, please. Number 1. She got a dog. One more. Did you listen, by the way?
Yes.
Is
Yes,
it
please.
I don't
Yes.
think you're sharing your audio?
Yes, but is it clear? Can you listen?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll go one more time. Listen carefully. Number one. She got a dog. And now let's go with sentence number two. She got a dog. She got a dog. So, in these two sentences, there is a word that has more emphasis. Can you tell me what word is that?
Dog.
Dog. You say it's dog. Anybody else?
I agree. I also think it's dog.
You also think it's dog? Okay, well, actually, dog is the word that has more emphasis in these two sentences, and that is said to be the focus word. Now, let's listen again and see what happened with the sound of this focus word. Okay, so I'll play each recording once. Let's see what happens in the word dog in both examples. She got a dog. She got a dog. What happens in the word dog in example number one and number two?
It has a rising pattern, and then the other one is like falling to at the end.
Okay, thanks, Guillermo. Anybody else?
I think in some way I don't know how you call the word, but the word dog. Sorry, how?
The focus word?
Yeah, the focus word becomes larger, like a little bit.
You mean there is a long pronunciation for the word dog, right? Is that?
Yes,
Okay. And in the second example, what happens with the word dog?
and the same, but with a different intonation because it's a question.
Okay. Anybody else? Thank you very much, Catherine. So what happened with the word dog in both examples? Comments? Do you need to listen one more time? Or it's okay?
I think that the word dog indicates if it is a statement or a question.
Yes, perfect. Maria Francisca, thank you. So what happened here is that in sentence number one, the intonation went down. That indicated the completion of the thought. She got a dog. And in sentence number two, the intonation went way up, indicating the surprise. She got a dog. It's a question, but at the same time, you're expressing that you are surprised. She got a dog. So the patterns of ups and downs of your voice and pitch on and after the focus word, which in this case was the word dog, is called intonation. Now let's go to a more sophisticated meaning for the word intonation. Can anybody read, please? Nobody?
I can do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Intonation is not only characteristic of each language, but also of the many varieties within each language. Intonation has traditionally been defined in terms of the rises and the falls of the voice in speech. A wider view of intonation does not define it in terms of patterns of falls and rises only, but as a complex of features belonging to different prosodic systems, mainly pitch movements, loudness, rhythmicality, and tempo.
Okay, so that's another definition for intonation. Well, there are four components of intonation, which are pitch, loudness, tempo, and rhythm. There is a definition for each one of them on the right side of the slide, as you can see. I'll give you some minutes for you to connect each definition with each one of the concepts. So we have pitch, loudness, tempo, and rhythm. I guess that 2 minutes it's okay. So please connect each one of the definitions with each one of the concepts. Just 4 definitions and 4 concepts. And then we can check. Okay, time's up. Ready with the definitions and the concepts? What's the definition, the correct definition or right definition for each one of the concepts? Okay, let's begin with the first one. Daniel Duque, what's the definition for pitch?
I'm not sure, but maybe the third one.
The third one? Okay, and what's your answer for loudness? What do you think is the meaning of loudness?
Did you ask me again?
Yes?
Okay. Loudness. The first one.
Okay. What about tempo? What do you think is the definition for tempo?
Maybe it has to do with the last one, maybe?
Okay. And finally, what about rhythm?
The second one.
The second one. Okay, Daniel, we're going to check, but thank you very much. Anybody else has a different concept for each one of the words? Guillermo, Josefina.
I have that the first one is loudness, the second one as a tempo, the third one as a pitch, and the last one as a rhythm.
As rhythm. Okay, thank you, Guillermo. And somebody else? Let's see, Maria Paz. Can you connect each concept with the definitions?
I'm not sure, but I have, for pitch, I have the first one. For loudness, I have the third one. Tempo, the second one. And rhythm, the fourth one.
And rhythm, the fourth one. Okay, so let's see the right answers now. Pitch. When we talk about pitch, it correlates with the fundamental frequency of the vibration of the vocal cords. When we talk about loudness, it correlates with the amplitude of vibrations. When we talk about tempo, we say it is a correlate of time during which a speech unit lasts. And when we talk about rhythm, we say it is the rate of speech and pauses. Something very important here is that the three elements mentioned before, pitch, loudness, and tempo, are the prosodic or suprasegmental characteristics of speech. These combine together to make up the rhythm of speech. So, to some extent, the prosodic characteristics are the same in all languages, but it is probably true that all human societies, it happens in all human societies that when a speaker speed up, is probably excited or impatient, or he can also slow down if he is being thoughtful or weighty. But different languages can also differ in their prosodic characteristic. So if we transfer prosodic patterns from one's mother tongue, for instance, Spanish, to a foreign language, for instance, English, it can contribute to make us sound foreign or to be misunderstood by other speakers. Let's continue. Now, something very important about intonation are its functions. We can find 6 different functions for intonation, which are the attitudinal function, the grammatical function, the focusing function, the discourse function, the psychological function, and the indexical function. Let's see what is the 6 different functions state for. So I would like one of you to help me reading with the attitudinal function. Anybody?
I can do it.
Okay, go ahead.
The most obvious role of intonation is to express our attitudes and emotions, to show shock or surprise, pleasure or anger, interest or boredom, seriousness or sarcasm, and many others. We do this by tone.
Okay, thank you, Josefina. So now let's think about one example in which we can express our emotions through intonation. What if I say, is that for me? What am I expressing? Is that for me? Am I angry? Am I being sarcastic? Am I surprised? What do you think?
Maybe surprise?
Yes, exactly. Surprise. Think about one example and share with the rest of the class in which you can express your emotions or your mood or your attitude when speaking. Let's see, any volunteer?
What about I can't believe it?
Okay. Once again, please, could you repeat that?
Okay, I can't believe it.
What are you expressing?
I'm expressing surprise, and I don't know if is there another one.
Okay, yes, surprise. Super. Anybody else? Catalina Toro, what about you? Give us one example in which you are expressing emotions or attitudes or your mood in this moment? Evelina, are you there? Okay, she's not here, I guess. Let's continue with the next one. The grammatical function. What's the grammatical function about? Guillermo, would you help me reading, please?
Okay. Intonations helps identifying grammatical structures in speech rather as punctuation does in writing. We use intonation to mark the beginning and end of grammatical units such as clause and sentence. We do this by tonality. We also use intonation to distinguish clause types such as question versus statement and to disambiguate various grammatically ambiguous structures. We do this mainly by tone.
Okay, thank you very much, Guillermo. This is the grammatical function. Let's continue with the next one, the focusing, accentual, or informational function. Intonation helps to show what information in an utterance is new and what is already known. We use it to bring some part of the message into focus and leave other parts out of focus, to emphasize or highlight some parts and not others. We do this by tonicity. So far, so good. Questions, comments? Anybody would like to say something? Questions or comments? No? Okay, let's continue with the next one. The discourse function. Maria Paz, would you help me reading, please?
Yes. Intonation signals how sequences of clauses and sentences go together in a spoken discourse to contrast or to cohere. It enables us to signal whether or not we have come to the end of the point we are making, whether we want to keep talking or are ready to give another speaker a turn.
Okay, so I have one example for this one, and you can tell me, do I want to continue talking or did I finish talking? Listen, I say, my daughter lives in Oxford. Now, example number 2. My daughter lives in Oxford. What do you think? I'll say it one more time. My daughter lives in Oxford. And my daughter lives in Oxford. When do I want to continue talking? Or when did I finish talking?
You finished in the first one, and the second one is incompleted.
Yes, perfect, Guillermo. I can say, my daughter lives in Oxford, and I finished talking. And then in example number 2, I said, my daughter lives in Oxford, and she is a doctor. You see, I wanted to continue talking. So that's one example of the discourse function. We can identify when somebody has come to an end of the point he or she is making, or whether they want to keep talking. Let's go to the next one. It's the psychological function. Intonation helps us organize speech into units that are easy to perceive, memorize, and perform. We can all repeat an arbitrary string of 3, 4, or 5 numbers, but not a string of 10, unless we split them into 2 units of 5. This is why we need tonality. And it happens when we count from 1 to 10. We say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we continue with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You see? And the next one, Angela, would you help me reading, please?
Okay. The indexical function. Used with another pronunciation features, intonation may act as a market or personal or social identity that makes mother sounds like mothers, lover sounds like lovers, lawyer sounds like lawyers, clergyman sound like clergyman, news readers sounds like news readers, official sounds like official sounds like official, partly their characteristic intonation.
So I would like to ask you, how do you perceive the difference when there is a mother talking and when you listen to a lawyer talking? How can we know the difference? Or when we listen to a lover speaking and when we listen to a journalist reading the news? Do you have an example for this function that you could share with the rest of the class? Professor Ramirez, what about you? Would you help us with this one?
Sure. I was thinking about politicians, that politicians have a very special way for intonation, because they are always giving statements or giving promises to the voters, so they sound, or they chunk their ideas in a very, very specific way, as compared to, for example, I don't know, clergymen when they are giving sermons, because they are addressing a big audience as well, but they make more pauses. So I was thinking about a politician, a clergyman, and also someone in a news paper, or a news anchor, that they're not emotional, so they're just have a very special and quite easy to identify way to communicate the ideas. So whenever you hear someone speaking in a news uh, program, and you hear someone like a politician giving a speech, it's very easy to identify them. I guess the second one, the politician, makes more pauses, right? And the news anchor takes more, makes less pauses, because he's not trying to convince or persuade the audience, but it's being very informative.
Yes, exactly. And something that you say is that they are not emotional, and that is what makes the difference, right? So now let's continue with the three basic patterns of intonation in English. So there are three basic patterns of intonation in English. We have a falling intonation, a rising intonation, and a full rise intonation. A downward arrow indicates a fall in the intonation, and an upward arrow indicates a rise in intonation. When we have a downward and upward arrow, it is a full rise intonation. Let me give you some time for you to think about examples of falling intonation, rising intonation, and full rise intonation. How will you perform those intonational patterns? Before I show you the example, you can just turn on your microphones and participate. One example could be for falling intonation, another one for rising intonation, and then a full rise intonation.
Might it be a falling intonation when you are whispering or telling a secret and your honor? Does it have something to do with that? Because I can't think in another example.
Okay, yes, probably. We're going to
What
later.
what about a rising intonation when you are arguing or trying to convince someone? Or and the other one I just forgot the name. When you are fighting or screaming for some reason.
When you're fighting or screaming, you use a rising intonation. But can you give us one example of something that you will say if you're fighting or screaming?
I fight a lot, but I can't think in anything right now. What about it was my pie. What do you eat it? Something like that.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you, Claudio. Thank you very much. Perfect. It was my pie. What about Daniel? Can you think about one example for rising intonation or falling intonation or fall rise intonation?
Yes, for rising intonation. Are you okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do I have?
Yes, you can continue. If you have another example for falling intonations, you can share with the rest of the class.
No, it's fine. It's fine like that.
Okay, it's fine. Somebody else? We have Josefina Cubillos. Josefina?
Yes, we have seen this topic of rising and falling intonation in taller de integración in from competences, and according to what I know, a falling intonation is used when you're asking a question, where like for example, where did you when did you arrive last night? And a rising intonation is used when you have a yes or no question. The voice rises at the end of the question. For example, do you like living in Chile? Something like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Josefina. Let's see. So, we have a falling intonation, and in a falling nuclear tone, the pitch of the voice it starts relatively high and then moves downwards. So the end point is low. It tends to indicate that the information conveyed is complete. So here we have some examples of falling intonation with commands, WH questions, questions tags, and exclamations. I would like you to participate in this part, and let's see. Alejandra Gonzalez, you there? Okay, she's not here. Carolina Nostroza?
Yes.
Okay, could you perform a falling intonation for each one of these examples? We have statements, commands, WH questions, question tags, and exclamations.
I will try.
Okay, go.
First, I have a question. In the first case, for example, when you say nice to meet you, but if we say it's like yeah, not you, that it could change the intonation of that phrase.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
For example, in the case of you in the first example,
yes?
Some people say you as yeah. In that case, the intonation would change.
Okay, I'll find it and I'll have an answer for that later, okay?
Okay.
I'll look for that. So.
Okay, I will try to read this. Nice to meet you. Write your name here. Show me what you've written. Where do you work? She's such a how is pronounced that word? Nuisance.
She's such a nuisance.
Nuisance. She's just a nuisance, isn't she? I failed the test because I didn't revise. Did I? how nice of you. That's just what I need. I'm sorry, I can't read well.
That's the point of this class, to practice. Okay, so don't worry. Let's continue with somebody else. Catherine, would you like to
Yes.
participate? Okay, small intonation for each one of the examples.
Okay. Nice to meet you. Write your name here. Show me what you've written. Where do you work? She's such a nuisance, isn't she? I failed the test because I didn't revise it. Did I? How nice of you. And last one, that's in there. That's just what I need. That's just what I need.
Thank you very much, Catherine. Super. And finally, one more participant, Daniel Duque.
Yes.
Okay. Also, with a following intonation for each one of the examples.
Nice to meet you. Write your name. Show me what you've written. Where do you work? She's such nuisance, isn't she? I failed the test because I didn't revise. Did I? Okay, I can't see it. No, yeah. How nice of you. That's just what I need.
Super. Thank you very much, Daniel. But now I would like to ask a specialist in the class. Professor Ramirez, how would you perform intonation, falling intonation for each one of these examples?
Yes. First of all, I would like to answer Carolina's question that in the expression "nice to meet you," if you use a weak form, it doesn't have anything to do with intonation. Intonation would be one thing, right? In the case of this falling intonation. So either if you use you or ya, that's totally fine because you're deciding whether you use a strong form or a weak form. But intonation goes into like sort of a like different story. I mean, with any, the intonation would be exactly the same. And for Miss Sophia's request, for a full intonation, I would say, pleased to meet you. Sorry, I'm cheating. Come here. Where are you from? I've been reading lately, haven't I? And it's incredible we're having a virtual class today. That's my example, sorry.
Thank you very much for your participation. Okay. Sure. Intonation, it's not easy, right? For me, personally speaking, it's difficult. Let's continue now with rising intonation. So in a rising nuclear tone, the pitch of the voice starts relatively low and moves upwards. The starting point may be anywhere from low to mid, and the end point anywhere from mid to high. So let's see more examples in which we apply a rising intonation. We have yes, no questions. We have question tags that show uncertainty and require an answer. And also when the speaker wants to continue talking. So I'll ask 3 of my dear students to participate. And in this case, I would like to invite Maria Paz with a rise in intonation. All of the examples that you can see in the slide. Maria Paz, you there? I guess Maria Paz is not here. What about Josefina? Would you like to participate again? With a rising.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Do you like your new teacher? have you finished already? May I borrow your dictionary? Do you have any magazines? Do you sell stamps? We've met already, haven't we? You like fish, don't you? You're a new student, aren't you? The view is beautiful, isn't it?
Perfect. Thank you very much, Josefina. Now let's go
No
with
worries.
Guillermo. Guillermo, with a rising intonation, all of the examples in the slide. We have yes, no questions
Okay.
and question tags.
Do you like your new teacher? Have you finished already? May I borrow your dictionary? Do you have any magazines? Do you sell stamps? Stamps. We've met already, haven't we? You like fish, don't you? You're a new student, aren't you? The view is beautiful, isn't it?
Perfect. Thank you very much, Guillermo. And my final participant is Catalina Toro. Catalina with a rising intonation, all of the examples that you can see there. Catalina, are you there? Let's see. Somebody else? Okay, Maria Francisca, what about you? With a rising intonation.
Okay. Do you like your new teacher? Have you finished already? May I borrow your dictionary? Do you have any magazines? Do you sell stamps? And then we meet already, haven't we? You like fish, don't you? You're a new student, aren't you? The view is beautiful, isn't it?
Super. Thank you very much, Maria Francisca. Okay, let's continue now with a different intonation, which is a full rise intonation. A full rise intonation often signals particular implications. In a full rise nuclear tone, the pitch of the voice starts relatively high and then moves first downwards and then upwards again. So let's try these examples. Any volunteer for a full rise intonation? I'll ask for some volunteers to participate. So you don't have to do it perfect, but you can try. That's important.
I can try.
Okay, go.
Okay. Are you having soup or salad? Is John leaving on Thursday or Friday? Um, we got apples, pears, banana, and orange. The sweater comes in blue, white, and pink. No, white, pink, and black. The speaker hesitates to fully express. Well, does this have a rising intonation somewhere? Okay. Do you like my new handbag? Well, the leather is nice. One is the latest. Okay. If he calls, ask him to leave a message. Uh, on the unless he insists, I'm going to go. I'm not going to go. Was it
Okay,
too bad?
thank you very much, Claudio. So what happened in example number 5 is that it's a description that unfinished thoughts have a full right intonation because the speaker hesitates to fully express his or her thoughts. Okay, another participant who would like to try with a full right intonation, all of the examples.
Me? Can I?
I would like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, are you having soup or salad? Is John leaving on Thursday or Friday? We've got apples, pears, bananas, and orange. The sweater comes in blue, white, pink, and black. The speaker hesitates to fully express his her thought. Do you like my new handbag? Well, the leather is nice, but I don't like it. If he calls, ask him to leave a message. And I can read the last one. It says unless. I
You
don't
can
know.
do the last one, yes. Unless he
Yeah.
insists, I'm not going to go.
Okay. Unless he insists, I'm not going to go.
Perfect. Okay, thank you very much, Darwin. So we're going to stop here. I'll give you 10 minutes for a break and then please come back so we can continue practicing and we can continue with the second part of the class. So 10 minutes break. I'll see you in 10 more minutes, okay? Will you come back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
see you.
Yes,
Okay, so we
please.
should be here at 12 past 12. Go for a coffee
Understood.
or
Okay.
and I'll see you in 10 more minutes.